Good morning. This intervention will focus on the strategy adopted by cocoa farmers in Togo to make their family farms more resilient to the effects of climate change. I will begin with a presentation of the different actors and the agricultural and environmental problems. Then the strategy and the different actions implemented by the producers will be developed. The Togolese Coordination of Farmers Organization, CTOP, was created in 2001 in Lomé, Togo. It aims to promote and defend the values of a professional, competitive, dynamic, and sustainable agriculture to the benefit of family farms. Today, CTOP has 20 members organizations gathering about 550,000 producers, 30% of whom are women and 50% young people. AFDI, French Farmers and International Development, an agri-agency member of AgriCord, supports the CTOP in strengthening its governance and in their strategic thinking related to agropole land tenure. One aim of the CTOP, defined in its strategic plan, is to improve knowledge and promote the adoption by farmers' organizations of sustainable and climate-resilient practice. In July 2019, CTOP signed a protocol with the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations within the framework of the Forest and Farmers Facility. Thanks to this grant, CTOP is working to strengthen the livelihoods of farmers, members of forestry and agricultural producers cooperative, and to restore the forest landscape in the maritime, plateau, and centre regions of Togo. Specifically, the aim is to strengthen entrepreneurship and market access of 12 forest and agricultural producers' organizations while improving their mitigation, adaptation, and resilience to climate change. The ETSONENYO Coopérative is one of these 12 farmer organizations. The ETSONENYO Cocoa Coffee Producers Cooperative was created in 1999. From an initial staff of 25 people, it now counts 35 members, including 20 men and 50 women. ETSONENYO's main activities are the production, collection, and marketing of coffee and cocoa. The members of the ETSONENYO cooperative are coffee and cocoa producers. In 2019, they exploited nearly 25 hectares of cocoa and 5 hectares of coffee, about 20 tons of cocoa and 6 tons of coffee. For the records, Togo national average production is estimated at 9,000 tons of cocoa, with yields per hectare ranging from 300 to 600 kilo. The village of Toveati is located about 100 kilometers from the city of Lomé in the west of the Togo border with Ghana. It's a locality of the prefecture of Kloto, Plateau region. This forest area of Togo is mainly characterized by the production of cocoa, one of the main export crops of the country and a generator of income for thousands of farmers. This region of Togo enjoys a tropical climate with temperatures around 26 degrees Celsius all year round and average annual rainfall of 1,400 millimeters. It's an area favorable to the cultivation of cocoa. This area is confronted with the increased phenomenon of deforestation. In yellow on this map, these are the lands where the soils are the most degraded. Around Palime, here, this degradation is reflected in the decrease of tree surface. It further accentuates the effects of climate change, lower rainfall, seasonal shifts, higher temperature. Producers then notice a drop in soil fertility. This phenomena of soil degradation and loss of fertility combine with the fluctuation in cocoa price in recent years. The COVID crisis may also accentuate this phenomenon. Indeed, cocoa was broadly hit on the markets during the crisis, with investors questioning the imbalance generated by abundant supply due to falling demand. As a result, market prices have fallen. Producers' incomes are declining. As cocoa doesn't bring in enough money, producers are tempted to cut down cocoa trees to produce something else, which further increases deforestation and aggravates the effects of climate change. The ETSONENYO cooperative is convinced that increased forest cover benefits cocoa plantations by promoting better soil fertility and moisture, as well as protecting cocoa trees from severe weather events. The collection and marketing of cocoa have long been the main and only activity of the ETSONENYO cooperative. As incomes have been declining, it has become necessary to diversify activities and particularly to find alternative sources of income for women. With the support of its partners, including the NGO Avenir de l'Environnement and the Forest and Farm Mechanism through CTOP, the cooperative has therefore developed an integrated model for strengthening the resilience of cocoa production and diversifying the income of its members. The model aims to restore the forest landscape, which is favorable to the development of cocoa farming, restore soil fertility, and reduce pressure on resources. It has three components: agroforestry cocoa production, the production and use of cocoa-based compost, the manufacture of soap from cocoa pods. The cooperative has restored the vegetation cover on the cocoa plantations and has therefore developed an agroforestry system. The objective is to regulate shade on the cocoa plantations to restore the natural pedological balance ensured by the combined action of the forest, climatic and biological factors. The advantage of agroforestry is numerous and includes the maintenance of productive capacity, maintaining the plantation over a long period, reducing the frequency and difficulty of weeding, increasing resistance to drought, improvement of soil fertility, soil protection, favoring the infiltration of rainwater into the soil. The cooperative has therefore set up shade tree nurseries. In cocoa plantations, a minimum of 12 to 18 shade trees per hectare must be planted. It's also necessary to plant several different species to prevent the spread of disease and to choose preferably local species. Producers have identified useful species. These have been maintained or reintroduced in cocoa plantations. To be beneficial, the use of shade must be done correctly. In case of poorly controlled excesses, the producer may be confronted with yield depression, the development of disease in a humid environment, water and nutritional competition between shade trees and cocoa trees. The installation of shade must therefore be well thought out so as not to offset the expected benefits. The production and use of compost from cocoa pods is intended to complement the effect of agroforestry on soil fertility restoration. The objective is to return some of the nutrients removed at adverse to the cocoa trees by transforming the pods into organic manure. The technique of composting the pods is not very different from ordinary composting. All that is needed is to collect the pods in heaps 3 meters wide and 1 meter high. The pods are then mixed with decomposing household waste, dead cocoa leaves, and green material. A ratio of 3 volumes of crushed pods to 1 volume of other waste is required. The heap is covered to maintain a high percentage of humidity and high heat, which accelerates the decomposition of the pods and kills brown rot fungi, swollen shoot. The pile is turned every 21 days. Once ready, the compost can be spread at the feet of the cocoa trees. Since December 2019, the cooperative has been engaged in the new processing of cocoa pods. Indeed, it produces and sells soap made from the pods. This activity allows the development of a new source of income for producers, especially women, while reducing the amount of waste from the plantations. Producers had difficulty to get rid of the many pods available after the harvest. Composting and soap making activities have solved this problem. The process of making soap from pods can be summarized in following main steps. First, drying the pods in full sunlight, calcination of dried pods in the furnace, filtering the ashes obtained to reduce them to powder form, making potash from powder. Soap is made from potash and palm oil in improved furnaces or fireplaces. And then soap packaging for sale. In traditional African circles, it's a highly prized soap and used in the treatment of certain diseases in traditional medicine. Currently, the sale is mainly taking place in the area of the village and in Kpalime. The project is too recent to provide sufficient insight on the expected impact and effects around agroforestry, compost, and soap making. However, it can be pointed out that the cooperative currently has a nursery for the production of shade trees. About 50 hectares of cocoa plantation was reforested with shade trees. And almost all members have a compost pit on their farms and use compost in their plantations. The growing demand for soap reassures women on their prospects for development. They are planning to establish a small unit to manufacture this soap. Thank you for your attention.